that it was only last December that you had an operation for breast cancer.
My very last surgery for my mastectomy was in December, and I'm so excited I'm finally whole.
That's brilliant. Because you actually had it twice, didn't you?
Yeah, I had it twice, and the second time was a little. Well, it was the whole shebang, and so it was a lot more time invested in a longer journey. But the moment I decided to do what is called a mastectomy, that means cancer is gone for me because it wasn't invasive.
Right.
It was first stage, so it wasn't necessarily.
So you don't now feel, because a lot of people do, that you're living with a bit of a time bomb. You don't.
Well, breast cancer's gone completely.
Right.
And so if something else happens, I'll tackle that when it comes and I'll beat it up.
And because it's so important...
What I do.
You know, everybody talks about their femininity when they have to battle breast cancer, understandably. And because you're a performer, and obviously, you know, how you look and everything's important, did you feel that your femininity had really been attacked?
At the very beginning, I was probably too drugged up to really realize what was going on. I was like, they're gone, whatever. And then there comes a time when you are going through the surgeries and you really lose track of where will I go, how will I feel, that you wonder if a man is gonna feel good about you. So all of these are very normal feelings. You just have to sort of let them pass and realize that you're beating yourself up more. Because I know a lot of women that are complaining about their own real situations that are different sizes and that have different things. And, you know, we're never happy with them. Yeah. So, you know, we just have to get, you know, they change form throughout the centuries.
In a way, you had a bit of a preparation for the whole body image thing, because when you were 13, you were diagnosed with Crohn's, weren't you? And you had a big scar.
Oh, and I was... that actually devastated me more.
But you had a lump the size of a grapefruit, didn't you?
I had a huge lump, which didn't really feel like it was that big, but once it's inside, it's like... yeah, I didn't have... I only had a high elevated white blood cell count, but I had very bad cramps and this mass, and
it's
so
hard to diagnose Crohn's.
It's very hard to diagnose. I feel like I was very blessed. Once again, I look at all these situations as blessings. Early diagnosis. So then I tried to understand how to emotionally take care of this disease, because a lot of it is emotional. It's very similar to colitis and irritable bowel, and it's all about emotion.
You have to change your diet as well, don't you?
Well, because food is a tricky subject for us cronies or colitis people, I think that when you're in flare-up, that's where you have to be a little bit more conscious of your food. And because you have to watch your food when you can eat, you're like, you just want to eat the entire world, but then you're like, ow.
Because this happened to you at 13 and you had to have this mass removed.
Yeah.
And you were left with a really big scar.
Yeah, but I showed it, like, I made it on display when I first came out. I was like, here you go. You know,
right from the beginning.
Yeah. I had a couple of people, well, guys, when they, you know, try to approach me, they'd be like, is that a cesarean? And I was like, all right, apparently you don't know much. I'm not trying to date you.
Was it because of health issues then that you made this decision not to have a baby?
You know, no, it wasn't at all. I actually, when I had more health issues, I then was like, okay, great, surrogate. Because I still was like, I need to be a mom. I need to be a mom of 12. I felt like I had mom syndrome, and it was just... I felt I was going to have 10 kids. My sister and I would always play the game, which was I was the mom and she was the auntie. And even when I played with her toys, I would break her toys, not on purpose, but my mom would go, okay, that's your toy now. And then, but they would be dolls, and so the arm would break off and she'd tape it up, or the neck, and I'd play hospital. So, I mean, that's just sort of how I've always been, is that I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, okay, hospital. So it's more just trying to get by and trying to just move on from what we're doing. It's not easy. I'm not saying any of that is a walk in the park, but take the bad day and then try to make the next day a little bit better.
But do you regret not having children?
I don't regret it, because I feel my life is so full at the present time. And what I've done in my realization that kids probably won't be my journey is that I started to really, really fall in love with my career. And I've never said, you know, when people are like, are you in love? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, with who? And I'm like, my career. So it's
I
really
love that.
interesting that this is where I've come to, that it's really enjoying being able to perform because I've had health issues.
And when did that realisation happen? Was it
About 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when I was coming back from the mastectomy, that I just kind of felt like I really want to enjoy it. And I've been putting so much attention into, should I have kids? Should I do this? Should I do that? I need to have a relationship. And in fact, I'm doing my job and I'm not going, I do love what I do, but I wasn't in love with it. And it's great, you know?